The winner is Julie Christie.
I don't think I can say anything, except to thank everyone concerned, and especially my darling John Schlesinger, for this wonderful honor. Thank you.
At 85, Julie Christie's name still evokes the golden age of cinema, a woman whose talent, beauty, and charisma made her one of the most celebrated actresses in the world. From her breakout performance in Darling to her unforgettable role in Dr. Zhivago, Christie captivated audiences with a presence that was both magnetic and deeply human. But behind the glitz, the accolades, and the red carpet appearances, a story of personal tragedy has quietly unfolded over the decades, one that has touched few but shaped her life profoundly. While fans remember the glamour, Christie's journey has been marked by struggles that were often invisible to the public eye. Health battles, heartbreak, and personal losses have shadowed her later years, reminding us that even icons are not immune to life's cruelties. For someone who has portrayed characters filled with strength, vulnerability, and resilience, the irony of facing private sorrow while the world cheers is almost poetic. Today, at 85, the story of Julie Christie is both inspiring and heartbreaking. It is a reminder that even the brightest stars can face darkness, and that fame and talent cannot shield anyone from the trials of life. Her legacy on screen is untouchable, yet the personal challenges she has endured add a layer of depth and humanity that few fully appreciate. So what is the tragedy that Julie Christie has faced? How did a life that seemed destined for perpetual celebration turn into a tale of quiet sorrow? Today, we will uncover the hidden struggles, the losses, and the remarkable resilience of one of cinema's most unforgettable figures. Julie Christie was born in 1940 in British India, a world away from the stages and studios that would eventually define her career. Moving to England as a child, she displayed an early love for performance, immersing herself in drama and theater before the silver screen beckoned. Her beauty was striking, but it was her intelligence and emotional depth that truly set her apart. By the early 1960s, she was stepping into an industry dominated by carefully constructed images of femininity, and she quickly became the face of a new era in cinema, one that valued authenticity as much as glamour. Her rise to fame was meteoric. Films like Darling earned her international acclaim, securing awards and attention that most actors only dream of. Audiences were captivated not just by her appearance, but by the raw humanity she brought to every character. It seemed as though Christie could embody any emotion, any struggle, and make it feel intimately real. She became a symbol of sophistication, talent, and artistry. Yet those who looked closely could see that her success came with immense pressure. The demands of fame, the relentless scrutiny, and the constant movement between film sets left little room for personal solace. Even at the height of her career, Christie faced challenges behind the camera. Relationships were complicated by the spotlight, and she often navigated a world where professional demands collided with personal desires. While the public saw the bright lights and red carpets, the private side of her life involved difficult decisions and sacrifices that were rarely reported. Friends and colleagues have often remarked on her kindness, intelligence, and thoughtful nature, qualities that sometimes made her more vulnerable to disappointment and heartbreak. Her work continued to impress, and yet, like many great artists, Christie's personal life remained a quieter, more turbulent story. Even as she collected awards, starred opposite some of the biggest names in film, and traveled the world, the human cost of her choices and the unpredictability of life began to weigh on her. Behind the glamour was a woman confronting the fragility of life, the impermanence of success, and the emotional toll that came with living under the public gaze. It is this duality, celebrated actress, private individual facing personal struggles, that makes Christie's story so compelling. Her journey reminds us that even those who seem to have it all are not immune to life's hardships, and that resilience often manifests in quiet, uncelebrated ways away from the spotlight. As the decades passed, Julie Christie's personal life became increasingly complex. Love, loss, and health challenges intertwined with her career in ways that were rarely visible to the public. Relationships that began with promise sometimes ended in heartbreak, leaving emotional scars that time could not fully heal. She experienced both the elation of romantic success and the profound pain of disappointment, learning that personal fulfillment does not always align with professional achievement. Even as her professional accolades mounted, Christie faced health issues that complicated her life and career. Aging brought natural challenges, and she had to navigate them while maintaining the public image that the world had come to admire. Medical concerns, some private and serious, limited her ability to perform at the same pace she had in her younger years, and yet she continued to appear on screen, demonstrating remarkable perseverance. Her choices reflected a commitment not only to her craft, but also to maintaining a sense of dignity and control in the face of adversity. In addition to health, Christie has faced family and personal tragedies that have weighed heavily on her. Friends and biographers describe moments of profound sorrow that were kept away from the public eye, reinforcing the sense that her life, while celebrated, was not without its burdens. Unlike the character she portrayed on screen, whose struggles were scripted and resolved, Christie's challenges were raw, unpredictable, and ongoing. She learned to navigate grief, disappointment, and the pressures of fame in ways that few could fully understand, demonstrating resilience that often went unrecognized. Even in the midst of these trials, Julie Christie remained dedicated to her craft. She selected roles carefully, often choosing projects that resonated with her personally or offered depth beyond the superficial. Films later in her career, though sometimes less commercially prominent, showcased her continued mastery of emotional nuance and her ability to connect with audiences on a profound level. Her artistry became both a refuge and a channel for expression, helping her manage the personal challenges she faced while continuing to inspire generations of viewers. Ultimately, Christie's life is a study in contrasts. The bright lights of fame sit alongside the quiet, often private pain of personal loss. Professional triumphs exist alongside personal challenges that test even the strongest spirit. Through it all, she has maintained her poise, her artistry, and her humanity, reminding us that tragedy and tale as Julie Christie entered her later years. The challenges of aging began to take a more visible toll. A life once filled with energy, travel, and constant engagement with the film world gradually slowed. For someone whose career had been defined by intensity and immersion in her craft, this shift was not easy. Health concerns became more pressing, and the demands of long shooting schedules, travel, and public appearances grew increasingly difficult to manage. Yet Christie's determination to remain active in her profession never waned. She continued to select roles that spoke to her personally, often favoring quality over quantity, showing a dedication to her craft that few could match. Alongside the physical challenges came emotional ones. Aging, even for someone of Christie's remarkable talent and resilience, brought reflections on loss, change, and mortality. Friends and those close to her have noted that she faced periods of profound sorrow, moments when personal grief intersected with the public pressures of her career. Unlike her characters on screen, where narratives could be neatly resolved, Christie's real-life struggles were ongoing, complex, and deeply human. The contrast between her celebrated public persona and the private difficulties she faced made her story all the more poignant. Despite these hardships, Christie's impact on cinema remained undeniable. Even as she navigated personal and physical challenges, her performances continued to draw attention and acclaim. Her ability to convey vulnerability, strength, and emotional depth never diminished, and she remained a symbol of artistic integrity for younger generations of actors. Through her continued work, she proved that talent and dedication do not have an expiration date, and that a life devoted to art can endure even when circumstances become challenging. Personal relationships also shaped her later years. Long-term friendships, past romantic experiences, and family connections all carried their own complexities. Christie learned to manage these dynamics while maintaining her privacy, a balancing act that required maturity, patience, and resilience. While the public could see her on screen, the nuances of her personal struggles often remained hidden, reinforcing the idea that even those who seem to have everything are not immune to life's difficulties. Ultimately, This period of Christie's life underscores the humanity behind the legend. The actress who captured hearts on screen faced her own battles with grace and resilience. She experienced the vulnerabilities of aging, the inevitability of loss, and the challenges that accompany personal tragedy. Yet through it all, she remained committed to her art, leaving an enduring legacy that reflects not only her talent, but also her capacity to confront life's hardships with dignity. Julie Christie's later years, though marked by difficulty, also highlight her remarkable strength. She continues to inspire through her work, reminding the world that perseverance, artistry, and humanity can shine even in the face of private sorrow. Her story is one of resilience, a testament to a life lived fully and authentically despite